"You thieving scum!" Sophia Reynolds snarled, her palm cracking across Maria Johnson's cheek with a slap that silenced the crowded Manhattan penthouse. The sting exploded on Maria's dark skin, but she locked her jaw, refusing to let a whimper escape. Sophia's manicured nails dug into Maria's arm, yanking her closer amid the glittering guests clutching champagne flutes. "People like you sneak in, steal what isn't yours, always playing the victim card." Maria's head snapped back, blood trickling from her bitten lip, but she straightened, eyes blazing into Sophia's without flinching. "I was serving drinks, ma'am," she started, voice steady despite the fire raging inside. "Serving? Ha!" Sophia cut her off, shoving Maria against the polished bar, glasses shattering to the floor in a cascade of shards. Guests gasped, phones slipping out to capture the spectacle, but no one moved. Sophia's face twisted in rage, her diamond earrings swinging wildly. "You're a liar, a parasite in my home. Get out before I call security to drag you back to whatever hole you crawled from." The red welt bloomed on Maria's cheek, a burning mark of the invisible walls in this world of wealth. She felt every stare piercing her uniform, judgment heavy as chains, but her fists clenched at her sides, nails biting into palms to anchor the storm. Sophia lunged again, finger jabbing Maria's chest. "What, nothing to say? Typical, expecting handouts while spying on betters." Maria's breath hitched, memories of her lost son flashing, but she held firm. "Ma'am, Shut your mouth," Sophia barked, slapping her again, the echo rippling through the room. Guests murmured uncomfortably, but Sophia whirled on them. "Security, remove this intruder now." Guards gripped Maria's arms roughly, hauling her toward the exit as Sophia's chest heaved in triumph. The doors slammed shut behind Maria, leaving the party in stunned silence. But the real fury had just ignited in her gut. "Filthy intruder," Sophia hissed, her voice slicing through the lingering echoes as the guards dragged Maria toward the penthouse doors. Maria's cheek throbbed like fire, the slap's imprint pulsing with every heartbeat. But she dug her heels into the marble floor, forcing the men to yank harder. Her dark eyes locked onto Sophia's triumphant glare, refusing to drop. "This isn't the end," Maria murmured, her tone laced with iron, even as blood smeared her lip from clenching her teeth. Sophia's laugh barked out, sharp and venomous. "End? You're done here, erased like the stain you are." She stepped forward, heels clicking like gunshots, shoving Maria's shoulder one last time before the guards hauled her fully into the elevator. Guests whispered furiously, some averting eyes, others filming the humiliation. But Maria squared her shoulders, the uniform pulling tight over muscles forged from years of scrubbing and swallowing insults. Her fists balled, nails carving crescents into her palms, channeling the rage into resolve. As the elevator doors hissed shut, Maria wiped the blood with her sleeve, tasting copper on her tongue. Flashes hit her husband's face, pale and broken after the accident the Reynolds orchestrated, his engineering dreams crushed under their empire. Their son, tiny and trusting, ripped away in the chaos. She pressed her palm to the burning cheek, not to soothe, but to fuel the vow hardening in her chest. "You'll learn blood doesn't always flow from your womb," she whispered to the empty air, the words carving into her soul like a promise etched in stone. The doors opened to the cold Manhattan street, guards shoving her out into the night. Maria stumbled, but caught herself, spine ramrod straight amid the honking taxis and indifferent pedestrians. No tears fell. She wouldn't waste them on Sophia's cruelty. Instead, she strode toward the subway, each step pounding defiance into the pavement. The city's roar enveloped her, but her mind raced ahead, replaying the slap, the stares, the injustice bubbling up from years of silence. Back in Brooklyn, her cramped apartment waited, stacked with unpaid bills and faded photos of her lost family. She texted her sister, "Rough shift, still standing." But inside, the fire blazed brighter, a storm brewing that would shatter the Reynolds' gilded world. The penthouse lights twinkled above, oblivious, but Maria's parting words hung heavy, a shadow creeping toward revelation. Sophia's triumph faded as the penthouse doors slammed, her chest still heaving from the outburst. She whirled back to the guests, forcing a brittle smile. Carry on. Nothing but a minor disruption. But whispers sliced through the air, judgmental eyes lingering on her smeared lipstick and trembling hands. Her son, Alex, stood frozen in the corner, his teenage frame rigid, clutching the small locket that had tumbled from Maria's pocket during the scuffle. He flipped it open, heart slamming as he saw his own name etched inside. Alex! What the hell? Alex muttered, fingers tightening around the metal, his face paling under the chandelier's glare. Sophia snatched it from him, eyes narrowing. Give me that. Probably stolen anyway. But her breath hitched, the engraving staring back like an accusation. She shoved it into her purse, but doubt clawed in, her earlier rage fracturing into unease. David Reynolds, her CEO husband, lingered in the doorway, his tie loosened, face etched with shadows. Sophia, you overdid it, he growled low, but she spun on him. Overdid? That woman invaded our space. Yet the locket burned in her pocket, a thorn twisting deeper. Alex retreated to his room, slamming the door, mind racing with Maria's whispered prophecy about blood and wombs. Downstairs, as the party resumed in forced laughter, Sophia paced the study, the slap replaying in her head, Maria's unyielding stare fueling a phantom sting on her own palm. Meanwhile, Maria, now blocks away, paused under a street lamp, her hand brushing the spot where the locket had been. In the Reynolds study earlier, while gathering her things under guard, she'd glimpsed a child's outfit folded in a drawer, hand-stitched by her own fingers years ago for her lost son. The fabric's pattern hit like a gut punch, igniting suspicion that clawed at her resolve. Not coincidence, she hissed to the night, her steps quickening toward Brooklyn, the seed of truth planted, ready to uproot their world. You think you can drop that bomb and vanish? Alex snarled into his phone, pacing the empty study where Maria's parting stare still haunted the air. The locket burned in his fist, its engraving, his name, mocking him with questions he couldn't shake. Sophia had dismissed it as trash, but Alex's gut twisted, Maria's words echoing, blood not from her womb. He slammed the drawer shut, the child's outfit inside catching his eye again, familiar stitches that didn't belong in their world. Mom's hiding something, he muttered, rage boiling as he grabbed his jacket and slipped out the penthouse back door, evading the doorman's nod. The Manhattan streets hit him like a slap, taxis blaring horns as he dove into the subway, heart pounding with fury at Sophia's cruelty. She humiliated her. For what? Skin color? His fist clenched on the rail, memories surging, his own bruises from David's discipline, hidden under long sleeves. The train rattled toward Brooklyn, the shift from gleaming towers to cracked sidewalks jarring, faces hardening around him, mostly black and brown folks hustling home. Doubt clawed deeper, Maria's unyielding eyes replayed, her whisper ablaze in his chest. He emerged in Brooklyn's dim streets, graffiti walls closing in, his luxury sneakers crunching on littered pavement. Where the hell is she? Alex growled, pulling up Maria's address from hacked staff records, his tech skills a secret rebellion against David's empire. A group of kids on a stoop eyed him, sneers sharp. Lost, rich boy? One spat. Alex's jaw tightened, shoving past. Looking for Maria Johnson, now. The kid laughed but pointed to a rundown brownstone. Upstairs, good luck, Prince. Climbing the creaky stairs, sweat beading on his forehead despite the chill, Alex pounded the door. No answer. A neighbor cracked hers, eyes narrowing. She ain't home. Clinic shift. Clinic where? He demanded, voice cracking with frustration. The woman spat the Harlem address, slamming shut. Alex bolted down, hailing a cab with shaking hands, the locket heavy in his pocket. Traffic snarled, horns fueling his storm. Sophia's slap, Maria's bloodied lip, the outfit's mystery twisting like a knife. Arriving at the bustling Harlem clinic, he shoved through the crowded waiting room, coughs and cries assaulting him. Heads turned at his designer coat amid worn jackets. I'm here for Maria, he barked at the desk, pulse hammering. The receptionist glared. Busy! Wait! But Alex leaned in, eyes blazing. Tell her Alex Reynolds is here, now! She relented, vanishing back. Moments later, Maria emerged, uniform crisp, face set like stone. You, she said, arms crossing, blocking the hall. Alex thrust the locket forward. Explain this. My name. Why? Maria's eyes flickered, jaw clenching. Not here. Outside. They stepped into the alley, tension crackling. Alex pressed. You dropped it. What game? Maria snatched it, pain flashing. Mine. Old keepsake. But Alex grabbed her wrist. Liar. You know my family. Maria yanked free, eyes hardening. Your family? She slapped me, humiliated me. Now you hunt? Alex's voice dropped, raw. I'm sorry. Her words haunt me. Blood not from the womb. What does it mean? Maria's grip tightened on the locket, steam rising from her breath like unspoken fury. The chase had begun, pulling him deeper into her world, where truce waited to shatter his own. Back off, or I'll make you regret it, Maria snapped at the persistent patient lingering too close in the clinic's chaotic hallway, her voice a blade cutting through the din of wailing infants and hurried footsteps. She thrust a stack of charts into a volunteer's arms, eyes flashing with authority forged from years of holding the line against despair. Room 4. Now! The young man scurried away, leaving Maria to exhale sharply, shoulders rolling back as she plunged back into the fray. No room for Alex's shadows today. Lives hooning on her here in this underfunded Harlem outpost, where hope battled neglect tooth and nail. She moved like a whirlwind, gloved hands snapping open a drawer for bandages, wrapping a child's gashed arm with precise twists that brooked no nonsense. Hold still, kid. This bites, but you're tougher. The boy winced, teeth gritted, but Maria's steady gaze pinned him through the pain. Done. Show your mom that scar like a badge. He nodded, dashing off, and Maria's chest tightened, not just from his grit, but from the echo of her own lost son, whose face she saw in every patched-up face. She wouldn't crumble. Crumbling meant failing them all. Wiping sweat from her brow with her forearm, Maria turned to an elderly man clutching his chest, breath ragged. Mr. Hayes, sit. Breathe deep. She guided him to a chair, fingers pressing firmly on his pulse, assessing the irregular thump. That's it. Steady. His eyes met hers, gratitude piercing the discomfort. You always know, Maria, like a guardian in scrubs. Her lips quirked, a rare crack in her armor. No guardians, just fighters who care. But inside, Alex's pursuit gnawed, the locket's return stirring ghosts of her husband, the engineer whose accident stole their boy. The clinic thrummed with urgency, phones ringing nonstop, nurses barking orders, patients overflowing. Maria orchestrated it, voice rising above the noise. Fever cases first, IV on bed 3. Colleagues nodded, drawn to her unyielding calm, the way she lifted them without pause. In a brief lull, she slipped to the break room, gulping black coffee that scorched going down, matching the fire in her veins. A coworker leaned in. That Reynolds kid outside? Trouble? Maria's jaw clenched. Wants answers he's not ready for. Pushing back out, she knelt by a young mother huddled in pain, he hand squeezing hers firmly. Talk to me. What's breaking you? The woman whispered of lost jobs, eviction threats. Maria's grip tightened. Been there. Lost my man, my boy. But you rise one step. The words spilled raw, her voice cracking once. Visions of her son flashing. She pulled the woman up. We'll get help. Real help. As shifts blurred, Maria's strength shone in small acts, haggling for free meds over the phone, tone unyielding. These folks need it, not your bottom line, or comforting a family facing illness and poverty. You're not alone. We fight together. Her isolation gnawed, nights alone staring at faded photos, but here she built unbreakable bonds, mending lives with hands that refused to tremble. Late afternoon, a crisis erupted, a woman collapsing mid-weight. Maria surged forward. Clear space. Defib now. She dropped to her knees, compressions fierce, muscles screaming but unrelenting. Stay with me. Sweat poured, but she didn't falter, issuing orders, mobilizing the team. Paramedics took over, stable, and the room exhaled. The coworker clapped her shoulder. You saved her. Maria shrugged, breath heaving. We did. But the adrenaline crash brought Alex's face rushing back, his entitlement clashing with this raw need. She ended her shift outside, leaning against the wall, phone buzzing, likely him again. She deleted it, eyes hardening. Helping others kept her armored against the past pull. Her husband's memory fueled her, his passion for fair tech, cut short by Reynolds's schemes. She wouldn't revel in their fall, she'd rise above. As she headed home, a child's wave from the window caught her, and Maria waved back, resolve stealing. Tomorrow's battles loomed, but she stood ready, unbreakable, a force in the trenches where change ignited. "Stop stalking me, or you'll wish you never stepped foot in this clinic," Maria snarled over her shoulder, striding through the alley behind the Harlem outpost, Alex's footsteps echoing relentlessly behind her. The phone buzz in her pocket had stopped hours ago, but his physical chase hit harder, a persistent shadow refusing to fade. She whirled, fists clenched, eyes locking onto his with unfiltered fury. "You think showing up erases that slap? Erases years of your kind looking down on mine?" Alex halted inches away, breath heaving, his coat flapping in the wind like a flag he hadn't yet surrendered. "I didn't come to fight. I came to apologize." Maria's laugh barked out harshly, stepping forward to crowd him against the brick wall. "Apologize? After hunting me like prey? You barge into my world, demand answers about that locket, and now play remorseful." Her finger jabbed the air between them, close enough to feel his flinch. Alex's jaw tightened, hands rising in defense. "Listen." "No, you listen!" Maria cut him off, voice rising like thunder. "She humiliated me before your fancy crowd. Called me a thief, invader. Based on what? My skin? My job?" She leaned in, breath hot, forcing him to meet her gaze. The alley's dim light cast harsh shadows on their faces, amplifying the raw edge of her pain. Alex's eyes darted, the locket's weight in his pocket a constant pull. "I was wrong, blind. Saw you as beneath us. But I'm here, facing it. Forgive me." Maria's eyes narrowed, assessing the clinic's distant hum, reminding her of lives she mended daily. Forgiveness? Not free. Fine. Apology noted, but conditions. Alex nodded quickly. "Anything." She stepped back, voice dropping to steel. "First, back off my life. No more tailing. Second, use your privilege. Fund this clinic. Help folks you ignore." Alex's brows furrowed. "Done. What else?" Maria's lips twisted. "Let me see you up close. No games." But before he could respond, footsteps approached from the shadows, a tall figure emerging, badge glinting under the streetlight. "Maria." "It's me, Jamal," the man said, voice urgent, his NYPD uniform crisp. Jamal Thompson, her husband's childhood friend, eyes scanning Alex warily. "Been investigating your man's accident. Leads point here." Maria's breath caught, gripping Alex's arm instinctively. "Jamal, now." He thrust an envelope forward. "Old letter from him, found in archives, name's Reynolds." Maria snatched it, unfolding with trembling fingers, Alex peering over. Her husband's handwriting leapt out. "They framed me. Stole our boy. Reynolds and their fixer." Alex's face drained of color, the locket suddenly ice in his pocket. "My parents?" Jamal nodded sharply. "We dig together. Now." Maria pocketed the letter, eyes hardening on Alex. Deal sealed, but truth comes with pain. The trio stood charged in silence, the envelope's words searing, pulling them toward deeper shadows where empires waited to crumble. "Stay away from them, or you'll vanish like your husband did," Victor Hale's voice hissed through the phone, venom dripping as Maria gripped the receiver in the clinic's back office, her knuckles whitening. The call struck minutes after Jamal's envelope revelation, her pulse spiking at the gravelly tone of the Reynolds loyal fixer. David's right hand from New Jersey, his cold eyes always tracking her like prey during shifts. She slammed the phone down, breath sharp, jaw clenching so tight her teeth ached. Victor's threat wasn't a bluff. It carried the weight of a man who'd buried secrets for decades and would kill to keep them locked. Maria leaned against the counter, the envelope's words searing her mind. Reynolds framed, stole the boy. Victor's name lurked unspoken, But his call confirmed his claws in the shadows of that betrayal. Her fingers twitched, itching to confront him, but she forced focus, snatching a chart to steady her shaking hands. The memory of Sophia's slap clashed with this new hostility, knotting her chest tighter. She wouldn't cower, not after surviving their blows. Jamal burst in, badge glinting, eyes scanning her tension. "Who was that?" Maria's voice cut low. "Victor Hale, their fixer, threatened me off." Alex, hovering nearby, face pale, fist balling. "My parents' lapdog? What's he hiding?" Jamal's jaw hardened. "More than we thought. He's the gatekeeper. Smirked when they hired you, whispered slurs no one heard." Maria shoved the envelope at him. "He ran it, framed my man, took my son." Jamal unfolded it again, fingers tracing the lines. "We hit his office. Now." But her phone buzzed again, Victor's number flashing. She answered, voice steel. "What?" "You dig, you die," Victor snarled, cutting her off before she spoke. "Hand over that letter, or I'll make sure you disappear like Marcus. Accident, they called it." Maria's breath hitched, rage surging. "Touch me and regret it." He laughed, cold and unhinged. "Know your place, Maid." The line died, but his shadow loomed larger. Alex paced, fury boiling. "He's family to Dad, cousin or something. How deep?" Jamal gripped his shoulder. "Deep enough to kill." We moved carefully. Maria pocketed the letter, eyes unyielding. "He fears exposure, means we're close." As they slipped out, Victor watched from a parked car across the street. His gaunt frame tensed, phone dialing David. "She's got allies. The cop and your kid. We shut this now." Maria glanced back, sensing eyes on her, resolve hardening. Victor's outburst cracked the facade, exposing his role, but she knew he wouldn't stop. His threats a fuse lit for bigger explosions. "Frame job. Your husband never stole those designs," Jamal barked, slamming the envelope onto the dingy table in Maria's Brooklyn apartment, his NYPD badge catching the single bulb's glare as he paced like a caged panther. Maria's fingers dug into the letter's edges, her husband's scrawled warnings leaping out. Reynolds rigged the accident, snatched the kid. Victor's phone threat still rang in her ears, fueling the fire in her gut. "We start with his old lab. Tonight," she snapped, shoving the paper at Alex, whose face twisted in shock. "Your parents did this?" Alex's voice cracked, fists pounding the table. "We dig. Prove it." Jamal nodded sharply, grabbing his coat. "Archives first. NYPD cold case files. Marcus' crash reeks of setup." They piled into his unmarked car, tires screeching out of Brooklyn toward precinct headquarters in Harlem. Maria's jaw clenched, memories of her husband's mangled body flashing like knives. "He trusted them. Shared tech ideas," she hissed, eyes burning on the dashboard. Alex gripped the seat, guilt twisting his features. "Dad always said business was cutthroat," Jamal cut in. "Cutthroat? Murder? Victor's prints all over." At the precinct, Jamal flashed his badge, leading them to the evidence locker, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. He yanked open a drawer, files spilling out. Marcus Johnson's case. Engineer accused of theft. Car accident days later. Maria snatched a photo, her breath hitching. Twisted metal, bloodied wheel. "This wheel, tampered." Jamal's eyes narrowed, pulling a report. "Brakes failed. Expert said sabotage, but buried." Alex scanned emails printed in the file, his pulse hammering. From Dad. "Secure the prototype. Reed's out." "Reed, your husband?" Maria nodded, rage boiling. "Marcus Reed, my man. They stole his work, framed him embezzler." Jamal pocketed a USB from the evidence bag. "Digital forensics, let's plug in." They huddled around a laptop in a back room, screen flickering to life with deleted emails. Victor to David. "Reed's design's ours. Stage the crash. Take the kid as leverage." Maria's nails bit into her palms, blood welling. "My son, hostage?" Alex staggered back, face ashen. "Me? They took me?" Jamal hit play on an audio clip, Victor's voice crackling. "Kid safe with Reynolds. Shuts the widow up." Maria's fist slammed the table. "Widow? Me? Erased." They bolted out, heading to Marcus's old lab in Queens, abandoned since the scandal, boards creaking underfoot as Jamal kicked the door open. Flashlights cut through dust, Maria leading to a hidden safe, a combination whispered years ago. Click. The door swung, revealing blueprints, a ledger marked Reynolds Deal. Alex flipped pages, breath ragged. Payments to shell companies, Dad's signature, Victor's initials. Maria grabbed a folder, forged contracts pinning fraud on Marcus. They bribed the DA. Look. Jamal photographed each page, eyes fierce. This ties Victor to the hit, tampered car parts sourced through him. But footsteps echoed outside, heavy, deliberate. Hide, Jamal hissed, shoving them behind crates. Victor's silhouette loomed, gun glinting. Knew you'd sniff here, he growled, kicking debris. Maria's heart pounded, gripping Alex's arm to silence his gasp. Victor smashed a shelf, papers flying. Letter? Designs? Hand over or bleed, Jamal whispered. Stay low. We bolt. They darted for the back exit, Victor's shouts chasing, bullets grazing walls. Gasping in the alley, Maria clutched the ledger. More proof. His phone logs? Back at Jamal's safe house in Harlem, they hacked Victor's old numbers from precinct databases. Calls linking to hitmen, bribes to silence witnesses. Maria traced one. A mechanic's testimony buried brakes cut on order. He paid to kill Marcus, she snarled, tears burning unshed. Alex dialed a contact, hacked staff email. Victor's offshore accounts, millions skimmed from stolen tech. Jamal cross-referenced. Matches the crash date. Payoff same day. They pushed deeper, interviewing a former colleague in Brooklyn over burner phones. Marcus innocent. Reynolds threatened me and not, the man whispered, fear cracking his voice. Maria pressed. Proof? He slid a drive. Video of Victor tampering with the car, time-stamped. Hid this. Feared for life. Jamal copied it, fist pumping. Nails him. Murder. Theft. As dawn broke, Maria stared at the amassed files. Emails, ledgers, videos. Her resolve iron. Sophia knew? Alex's eyes darkened. She signed adoption papers. Post-crash. Jamal stood. We confront David next, but Victor's closing in. Maria pocketed the drive, breath steady. Let him. We end this. The evidence piled like weapons. Truth sharpening for the strike ahead. Impossible. You're my mother? Alex choked out, staggering back against the safe house wall, his face draining of color as Jamal thrust the final file forward, pages fluttering like accusations. Maria's breath seized, fingers crushing the USB drive in her palm, the video still frozen on Victor's sneering confession. Crash stage, kid leveraged. Truth hits hard, she rasped, eyes locking onto Alex's with unyielding fire. The boy's features mirroring Marcus's, her lost husband's jawline, the same defiant spark. They murdered him, stole you, to bury his tech, silence me. Jamal's voice sliced in, low and urgent, flipping the ledger open. Adoption papers, forged, dated day after Marcus' accident, Reynolds signed, Victor witnessed. Alex snatched the document, knuckles whitening, rage surging as he scanned the lines. Birth records altered, DNA tests buried. Me? Their trophy. His fist pounded the table, splintering wood. Dad beat me silent, said I was ungrateful. Now this? Maria stepped closer, hand hovering but not touching, pain twisting her gut. Your bruises? Their control. Marcus fought for fair tech. Reynolds crushed him, framed theft, and rigged the car. Jamal hit play on the drive again, Victor's audio crackling. Kid's ours now. Widow won't talk with him in play. Maria's nails dug into her arms, blood welling, memories exploding. Marcus's final call, panicked. They're coming. Protect our boy. Tears burned unshed, but she shoved them down, voice steel. You were 3, ripped from me in the hospital chaos, adopted to them as leverage. Alex's knees buckled, gripping the chair, betrayal igniting. Sophia knew, rocked me to sleep on lies. Jamal nodded grimly, pulling another email. Sophia to David. Boys quiet. Good cover. Victor handled the mess. Maria's chest heaved, fury blending with grief, the outfit's stitches flashing in her mind, her hands sewing at pre-birth. Not just murder, theft empire-wide, hush money to witnesses, hits on rivals. Jamal cross-referenced photos, bruised bodies, accidents linked to Reynolds tech launches. Millions skimmed, lives erased. Alex stood, eyes blazing. We expose them, all. Maria grabbed his shoulder, grip fierce. But danger spikes. They sense us closing. Jamal pocketed the files, face set. Proof solid. Murder, kidnapping, fraud. Reynolds built on our blood. Maria's resolve hardened. The revelation's a gut punch, but fuel for the storm ahead. Empires toppling under truth's weight. You think you can expose us and walk? Victor snarled, gun barrel jamming cold against Maria's temple as he burst into the safe house, door splintering behind him. Her breath caught, body rigid, but she didn't flinch, gaze locked on his trigger finger, the USB clutched in her fist like a lifeline. Alex gasped, lunging forward, but Victor swung the gun toward him. Back off, brat, or she drops first. Jamal froze mid-reach for his badge, hands raised, face ashen with the weight of revelation still hanging. Murder, kidnapping, empire on blood. Maria twisted slightly, free hand inching toward her pocket, voice steady despite the metal's chill. It's over, Victor. We have the video. Ledger, your bribes. Victor's laugh barked harshly, grip tightening on her hair, yanking her head back. Over? I built this. Marcus was weak, an obstacle. He jammed harder, bruising her skin, breath hot on her neck. Hand it over now. Alex's voice sounded desperate. Victor, stop. You're family. Family? Victor cut him off, whirling Maria like a shield, gun waving wild. You idiots, let her in with lies about that kid. He fired into the ceiling, plaster raining, all ducking as the blast echoed. Talk like I talked Marcus into that wreck. Give the drivey or I paint walls with her blood. Maria's heart hammered, adrenaline surging, fingers brushing the scalpel she'd pocketed from the clinic. She stomped his foot hard, bone crunching under her heel, elbow slamming his gut, air exploding from him. He staggered, gun flailing, but she spun, slashing the blade across his wrist, blood spraying. Victor howled, clutching his hand. Bitch! He charged, tackling her to the floor, fists flying, one cracking her jaw, stars bursting in her vision. Alex dove for the gun, fingers scraping carpet, but Victor kicked it away, boot grazing his ribs. Stay down! Jamal tackled Victor from behind, hauling him off Maria, the two grappling, fists pounding flesh. Maria rolled, blood trickling from her lip, grabbing the USB tighter, eyes darting to Marcus's photo on the table. Her fuel. She scrambled up, scalpel in hand, stabbing at Victor's thigh as he headbutted Jamal, blood spraying from Jamal's nose. The impact sent Victor sprawling, but he snatched a lamp cord, whipping it like a lash, nicking Maria's arm, warm blood soaking her sleeve. She dodged, pain shooting through, but countered with a knee to his groin, doubling him over. Alex grabbed Victor's arm, twisting, the cord clattering free. Enough! Alex yelled, nails digging into skin. Victor threw him off, slamming him against the wall, head thudding hard, vision blurring. Jamal pinned Victor to the floor, knees on his chest. Done! Cops coming! Maria panted, arm throbbing, but snatched the gun from under the couch, pointing it at Victor's head. Move! I end it! Her finger tensed, years of loss steadying her aim. Victor's eyes bulged, defiance cracking. You wouldn't... Nothing. Maria pressed the barrel to his forehead, whispering, Try me. Nothing left to lose. The standoff stretched, breaths ragged, the room reeking of sweat and blood. Sirens wailed distant, growing louder, Jamal's call summoning them. Victor's fight ebbed, body slumping, but his glare promised more. Maria lowered slightly, arm aching, the USB safe, but danger pulsed. Victor's network out there, vowing blood. Drop it now, Jamal bellowed, wrenching the gun from Maria's grip as sirens pierced the air. Cops swarming the shattered safe house, beams slicing through chaos. Victor snarled from the floor, cuffed wrists twisting, his glare boring into Maria like daggers. You'll regret this. Backups will bury you. Maria stepped back, chest heaving, blood from her arm dripping onto the splintered wood. But her eyes stayed locked on his sneering face. Threats echoing. Networks paid for blood. Cops hauled Victor up, his struggles futile as metal clicked tight. "You all burn with me," he spat at Alex, who clutched his bruised ribs, face pale but defiant. Jamal nodded at the lead detective, voice rough. "He's the fixer. Gun, assault, the works." Officers restrained Victor, slamming him against the wall, cursing muffled. Maria sank against the counter, adrenaline crashing, arm throbbing like fire. Alex approached, hand on her shoulder. "You okay?" She nodded sharply, wiping blood from her lip. He mentioned backups. "We grabbed them before his lawyers twist." Jamal straightened, guilt etching his features from the headbutt's gash. "His lair. Basement office at Reynolds HQ. I scoped it. Safe with old drives, docs." Maria's eyes flashed. "Lead us, now." They slipped out amid cop questions, piling into Jamal's car, tires peeling toward Manhattan, police escort trailing, but not pursuing yet. Maria bandaged her arm roughly with a torn shirt, pain fueling focus. Victor's recorded everything. Insurance. Alex gripped the seat. Dad's complicit. His signatures everywhere. Jamal weaved through traffic, sweat beading. "We cracked that safe. End it." At the towering Reynolds building, they badged past night security. Jamal's NYPD pull open doors. Down to the basement, keycard swiped. The room stacked with files, a bolted safe gleaming. Maria tested the dial, fingers steady. "Combination." Jamal rattled numbers. Birthdays twisted with deal dates from Marcus's files. Click. Tumblers fell, door yanking open. Inside, cash bundles, fake IDs, and a recorder with labeled tapes. Alex grabbed one. "Crash date, play it." Tape hissed alive. Victor's voice commanding, "Rig the brakes, read's done. Boy to Reynolds." Maria's fist balled, nails digging palms, the voice ripping wounds, her son's cries imagined in the plot. Jamal snatched another, popping it in. Victor admitting payoffs, threatening Marcus directly. "One word, you're gone." Maria's breath quickened, pieces slamming together. "Leverage over David, too. Owned him." They rifled deeper, finding a matching ledger. Entries detailing skimmed millions, hits on rivals. Alex flipped furious, voice rising. "Profited off our family, off me." Maria pulled an envelope. Photos of Marcus's wreck, Victor's notes on cleanup. Her stomach twisted, grief surging, but she channeled it, stuffing all into a duffel. "This buries them. Murder, kidnapping." Footsteps thundered above, guards or worse. Maria slammed the safe. "Out, backstairs." They bolted up a side exit, Jamal leading, Alex covering the rear. A door burst open upstairs, voices shouting. "Victor's goons! Lawyer! Fixer!" They ducked behind cars in the garage, hearts slamming, beams sweeping. Jamal hot-wired a company sedan, an old undercover trick. The engine roared, gates crashing open. Maria clutched the bag, tapes rattling. "Head to my clinic. Copy everything." Alex nodded, dialing contacts. "My hack. Email leaks to the press." Jamal gripped the wheel. "He'll hunt us. Network deep." Maria's voice cut sharply. "Let him. We strike first." The bag weighed like an arsenal, secrets detonating soon. But Victor's shadow loomed, promising more blood. "Liars, all of it!" David roared from the podium at the Reynolds press conference. Flashbulbs popping as Maria burst through the doors. USB raised like a weapon, Jamal and Alex flanking her. The room froze, reporters murmuring, Sophia's face paling beside her husband as Maria shoved forward. "Your empire, built on murder!" She plugged the drive into the console, screen blazing to life with Victor's video. Brakes rigged, Marcus done. David's eyes bulged, lunging for the cord. "Security, stop her!" But Jamal flashed his badge, blocking the guards. "NYPD, stand down!" Alex stepped up, voice cracking but fierce. "Dad, you stole me! Framed him!" The tape rolled, Victor's confession booming. "Kids leverage. Reynolds owns now." Gasps rippled, phones recording as ledgers flashed. Signatures damning David. Sophia's adoption forms forged. Sophia clutched her chest, staggering. "No, we saved him!" Maria cut in sharply. "Saved? Kidnapped after killing my husband. Reporters surged, questions firing. Mr. Reynolds, comment? David's fists balled, sweat pouring. Fabricated, sue you all. But Jamal hit play on another clip, Sophia's email. Boys quiet, good cover. She crumpled, nails digging palms. David, handle this. He whirled on her. You signed, new. Chaos erupted. Guards grappling with Alex, but Maria yanked him free, a scalpel glinting from her pocket. Back off, or I carve truth into you. The screen split to live feed. Victor in cuffs, snarling denials crumbling. They paid me! Hits! Bribes! Reporters shouted. Evidence real? Jamal thrust files forward. Irrefutable! Arrest now! David bolted for the exit, but cops swarmed, cuffs snapping. You're done! Maria yelled, eyes blazing on Sophia, who sank to her knees, sobs racking. My son, mine! Alex gripped Maria's arm. Mom, truth out. The room thundered with flashes, social media exploding, the exposure ripping their world apart, empires falling in real time. You're finished! Rot in hell! Maria spat from the witness stand, her eyes boring into Victor's snarling face as the judge's gavel cracked down like thunder in the packed New York courtroom. Victor lunged against the bailiffs, veins bulging. Traitors! I made you! But cuffs snapped tighter, dragging him back, his curses echoing as the jury's guilty verdict rang out. Murder, fraud, kidnapping. David's face crumpled beside Sophia, chains rattling on his wrists, Sophia's sobs racking her frame. We saved him, she shrieked at Maria. Saved? Stole my blood! Maria fired back, fist pounding the rail. The judge's voice boomed. Life without parole, Victor Hale! Gasps ripped through the crowd, reporters scribbling furiously, flashes popping as Victor twisted. Appeal! I'll gut you all! Bailiffs hauled him away, boots scraping, his glare promising venom even in defeat. David's turn hit next. Guilty on all counts, empire stripped, sentenced to decades. He slumped, head in hands. Should have stopped it. Sophia clawed at him. You let Victor run us. But he shoved her off, guilt carving deep lines. Maria stood rigid, scar on her arm itching from the fight, a reminder of blood spilled. Alex gripped her hand from the gallery, eyes fierce. They pay now? Jamal nodded from the aisle, badge shining, his testimony sealing the nails. Tapes played, ledgers dissected, Victor's denial shattered under cross. Jurors' faces hardened, nods confirming truths. Marcus cleared. Exonerated official. Sophia's final plea broke. My son, ours, Maria cut her. Mine, reclaimed. The courtroom emptied like a battlefield cleared, loose ends tied, accomplices flipped, accounts frozen, Reynolds' company probed. Justice's blade cut deep, scars lingering, but peace fragile, earned through fire. We owe you everything. Take the keys. Sophia thrust the contract across the table in the newly built Brooklyn Community Center, her voice cracking with raw urgency, eyes locking onto Maria's unyielding stare amid volunteers hauling boxes of medical supplies. Maria's fingers hovered over the paper, the title glaring, Director of Reed Reynolds Foundation for Equity and Tech Justice. Her jaw tightened, the courtroom victory still fresh, Victor's life sentence a hollow echo against scars he carved. A title fixes nothing. My son's years stolen. Marcus dead. Sophia leaned in, breath sharp. No, but deeds do. We're funneling millions from seized assets, clinics like yours, scholarships for kids like Alex. David stood behind, hands clasped tight, face gaunt from asset liquidation under plea deals. Signed over company shares, policies flipped, no blind hires, equity mandates. Maria snatched the contract, scanning lines. Grants for Black-owned startups. Legal aid for framed victims. Partnerships with Harlem and Mississippi communities, like her family's. Her pulse quickened, visions of her sister scraping by flashing. Prove it. Walk it. Sophia nodded, rising fast, pulling Maria toward the hall, buzzing with activity. Start here. Volunteers, ex-Reynolds staff, retrained, stacked crates, laptops, meds, food kits. One approached Maria, hesitant. "Ma'am, clinic expansion, your call?" Maria's eyes narrowed, diving in. "Trauma focus, ad counseling. We carry unseen wounds." The volunteer scribbled, nodding sharply. David's sleeves rolled up, hauling boxes himself. "Ignored the poison, now I purge." Maria glared. "No, Pats, this penance." He winced but pressed, unloading tech for fair access programs. Bridging gaps, Victor's greed tore wide. Sophia barked into her phone nearby. "Double the fund. Wire to Mississippi now." Maria's lead. Maria overheard, chest loosening slightly, the locket warming against her skin. Alex's name a stake reminder. Weeks blurred into fury. Maria storming board meetings, fist slamming. "Full scholarships, no strings." Sophia backed her, tone fierce. "Approved. Overhaul hires, diverse top down." David executed, axing Victor's holdouts, hands shaking on terminations. "Hurts, but right." At a Harlem clinic groundbreaking, Maria gripped the mic. "Not charity, reparation. For crushed lives, we lift legions." Cheers thundered, flashes popping, her gaze finding Alex front row, his frame tall, eyes mirroring Marcus. He hugged her post-speech, fierce. "Mom, this changes everything." Maria's throat tightened, arms crushing back. The foundation swelled, legal teams dismantling cases like Marcus's, exonerating scores. Maria led file raids, voice booming. "Deeper, no stones." Sophia sold jewels, cars, and funding. "Send it, lives hang." David reformed quietly, mentoring at-risk execs. Speeches blunt. "Enabled evil, choose else." In Mississippi, Maria flew with checks, surprising the family at their rundown home. "Rebuilds all." Her sister clutched her. "You?" Maria shook her head. "They pay dues." Back in New York, she cornered David in his bare office. "Why now?" He met her eyes. "Guilt devours. This mends." Maria nodded once, truce budding. Programs rolled. Free care for the underserved. Training black engineers. Sophia championed launches, voice raw. "Blind once, see now." Alex volunteered, distributing kits, bonding with Maria and ironing. "Proud, Mom." Her heart swelled, pain easing. The capstone gala, purposeful, not lavish at the center. Maria on stage, thundering. "Honors Marcus, fights for all." Donations flooded, matched by Reynolds remnants. Sophia joined, hand high. "We change, together." David applauded shadows, redemption silent. Maria stepped off, Alex beside. The locket glinted, hope sparking. Not perfect, but onward. "You're my mom, always were." Alex hurled himself into Maria's arms at the bustling Brooklyn Community Center reunion, his teenage grip crushing, tears soaking her shoulder amid cheers from supporters and foundation volunteers stacking food crates from Mississippi recipes. Maria's breath hitched, hands clutching him back, the locket pressing between them like a bridge over lost years. The room pulsed with energy, tables groaning under soul food, kids darting under banners, screaming "Justice heals." Sophia orchestrated donor photos, voice cracking. "Pose together, show change." David directed crews quietly, his presence a silent amen. No grand claims, just steady lifts. Maria pulled back, cupping Alex's face, eyes searching his. Marcus's spark alive, forgiving. "Never stop battling for you." Alex nodded, wiping his cheeks roughly. "Know now, the tapes, trial, all out." His voice steadied, pride flashing. "This place, you forged it." Maria's chest swelled, foundation walls echoing laughter, a far cry from courtroom chill or Victor's defeated snarls. She glanced at Sophia approaching, smile tentative. "He's right. We all forged." Sophia hugged Alex quickly, touch maternal but yielding. "Families made, not born." David hovered, offering a nod, guilt still carving him. The event surged, Maria mic in hand. "Mark's reunion and rebirth." Her boom drew eyes. Donors, survivors, leaders. Cleared names, funded dreams, shifted laws. Applause thundered, but her words pierced hearts scarred by injustice. She stepped down, Alex beside, guiding through crowds. "See that tech wing? For Marcus, your dad." Alex's hand tightened. Tell me about him. Stories spilled as they walked. Marcus's inventions, love birthing Alex amid threats. Maria's voice wavered once, grief surfacing, but Alex squeezed. Proud he'd be. Volunteers pulled her into hugs. Ex-patients, now staff. Lives mended by programs. One gripped her arm. Saved my kid from the system. Like yours. Maria's throat tightened, nodding sharply. We save each other. Sophia caught up, breath quick. Board later. Expand 3 states. Maria arched her brow. Push policy. No corporate blind eyes. Sophia grinned fiercely. Done. David's lobbying Congress. He joined, low. Testify. Full truth. Maria met his eyes, forgiveness budding. Hold it. The group cornered quietly. Alex listening as they plotted Reed scholarships, anti-bias trainings mandatory in Reynolds remnants, patrols funded against setups like Marcus. Sun dipped, the event winding with symbolic fire, burning fake docks, flames licking high. Maria tossed one, watching it curl to ash. Alex beside. Burn past, build future. He nodded, throwing his. With you, Sophia added hers, fire in eyes. Problem once, solution now. David hesitated, then was firm. No silence more. Nights later, Maria's new home, foundation gifted warm, porch with Alex under stars. Life tore us. Alex leaned. But we clawed back. Tales poured, her nursing fights, slaps sparking all, Victor's fall. Alex pierced. Why not sooner? Maria's hand trembled. Fear, survival, regret taught, speak or lose all. He hugged fiercely. Lesson taken. Months rolled by, foundation thriving, clinics humming, lawsuits crushing corrupt firms, youth mentoring kids like Alex once. Maria led with blaze, boards quaking. Equity now, no delays. Sophia backed pushes, transformation raw, mansion sold, simpler life, daily volunteering. Privilege blinded, eyes open. David reformed quietly, mentoring execs at risk. Blunt. Enabled evil, choose differently. Milestone. Alex's graduation. Maria front row, tears fierce as he crossed the stage. Diploma high. For mom, dad. Cheers erupted, Sophia clapping wildly, and David's faint smile. Post-ceremony dinner. Soul food, laughter filling. Maria raised a glass. To truths unearthed, bonds reforged. Clinks rang, Alex adding. Families fight, forgiveness. Final thread, Marcus Memorial, foundation grounds dedicated. Maria unveiled the plaque, steady. Dreamed big, loved fierce. Legacy, justice all. Attendees nodded, tales shared. Old colleagues, touched survivors. Sophia next. Wronged you, honor now. David laid flowers, vow silent. As crowds thinned, Maria lingered with Alex, plaque handa. Dad's here, every win. Alex nodded. In us. They walked arm in arm, sun golden, hope solid. Subplot sealed, family relocated thriving. David's anonymous gives. Sophia's awards waved off. Work matters. Quiet moments, Maria reflected, slapping freezing Sophia, secrets bared, battles won. To Marcus's ghost, courage over fear, truth over might. Alex overheard, smiling. Love wins. New family, fire forged, step tomorrow. Unbreakable. World fairer. Their tale beacon for the weary. Laughter pulled them in. The end, vibrant start. In the end, this story reminds us that true justice emerges when we confront our prejudices, uncover hidden truths, and embrace the power of redemption. No matter how deep the wounds of inequality and betrayal run, it teaches that family bonds transcend blood, and standing up against injustice can heal even the most broken lives. What about you? Share your thoughts or personal stories in the comments below. Have you faced similar challenges or witnessed acts of courage that changed everything? Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey. See you at the next one.